wisdom, epiphany, and beards. Wisdom occurs when an insight, provided via spiritual experience, is converted by the mind to become an epiphany, a sudden, intuitive understanding of the essential meaning of something, and a moment of revelation, as if a light bulb suddenly illuminates your mind. It is a masculine attribute associated with the intellect, reasoning and memory, and symbolised by beards on very old, humble, usually gentle men. In the tarot cards, he is the Hermit, in other words a sort of Druidic Merlin-like figure, who may have to weather storms of ignorance and derision to get the message across. Australian Aborigines called such men wise men. They may also be called seers. But symbolically and actually they are always old. This is because there must have been enough time for the person to amass the facts needed to use the insight. It is one of the few occasions when a massive memory with very good recall is helpful, and the ability to apply reason to the combination of facts and insight is key. Blue sky thinking and inner speech. Inner speech is the language of wisdom, invention and genius. This is Pallas Athene, the goddess of this type of spiritual input. It is actually not speech. No words are ever discerned, but since it involves none of the five senses, we have no other term for it. L.S. Vygotsky, Thoughts and Language. Inner speech is speech without words. It is not the interior aspect of external speech, it is a function in itself. While in external speech, thought is embodied in words, in inner speech, words die as they bring forth thought. Inner speech is to a large extent thinking in pure meanings. A genius by definition comes up with something, invention, an hypothesis, a formula, a gadget, a solution, etc. no one has ever thought of before. But the thought has to come from somewhere, and that somewhere is the spirit world beyond the mind. Thus, in blue sky thinking, we have proof of spirit. Arthur Koestler, Janus. All the biological evidence indicates that such a radical reshuffling operation requires the intervention of mental processes beneath the surface of conscious reasoning, in the twilight zone of awareness. In the decisive phase of the creative process, the rational controls are relaxed, and the creative person's mind seems to regress from disciplined thinking to less specialized, more fluid ways of mentation. A frequent form of this is the retreat from articulate, verbal thinking to vague, visual imagery. There is a naive popular belief that scientists arrive at their discoveries by reasoning in strictly rational, precise, verbal terms. The evidence indicates that they do nothing of the sort. And indeed, Jacques Hadamard's famous inquiry among American mathematicians showed that nearly all relied on visual imagery of a vague, hazy nature. Jacques Hadamard, an essay on the psychology of invention in the mathematical field. The same character of suddenness and spontaneity has been recognized by psychologists as being present in every kind of invention. Physicists like Langevin, chemists like Ostwald, tell us of having experienced it. So the starting point of all wise thoughts starts with a special form of spirit input, but it does not stop there. How it works. Using our model of the mind, the higher spirit provides us with this specialized spiritual input. This spiritual input goes to our subconscious. It should be clear that to get this input loud and clear, we need to be absolutely relaxed, with virtually no other input to receive. Virtually no emotions, and as few sensations as possible. So minimize all pain, remove any sexual stimulus. Then close your eyes, eat nothing, drink nothing, remove all scents and smells, block out all sounds, and find somewhere very, very comfortable to lie down on or in to minimize bodily sensations. Sensory deprivation chambers work, but then so do warm baths and very comfortable soft beds. With bodily sensations removed, the spirit input should now be available to our perception system. Perceive. Where it will be available to our conscious self as a thought. That thought perception must be immediately recorded, and one can do this by using pen and paper as an aide-memoire, or store it in your memory as is. Diagrams may also help. Do not use your reason or memory at this stage. Once this is done, it must not be changed. Use this recorded thought perception and combine it with relevant data from one's memory, reason, and deliberately ignore the ego and any obligations. Only concentrate on one's desire to understand the input provided. No other desire, such as making money or Nobel Prizes or fame and fortune, should be present. A deliberate attempt must be made to concentrate only on the wish to know, the answer to the puzzle. And indeed, the difference between success or failure depends on eliminating all other wishes, desires, and being completely humble, the total squashing of the ego. Clever or wise? This is probably the only time a massive memory full of facts, and there must be facts, becomes a real asset. As long as only facts and reason are employed, and a wish to know, clever people with a good memory can become wise people, and wise people with humility can become geniuses. But one has to be exceptionally strict throughout one's life in ensuring one's memory is not cluttered with rubbish, and in paring down every obligation and every desire.